Hi everybody. Another round of poems in progress here. Gonna write another poem. If you have not joined me here before, I'm gonna live write a poem right over here, and we'll see what happens. Really don't have a plan as I'm sitting here to do this. Mulling over a few things, as I'm sure all of you are. Just a lot going on in the world. So yeah, I'm just gonna type away, and as I do, I will maybe stop here and there and mention some things that are going through my mind as I go through the process. I'm just gonna kind of sit here for a second and see if any images come to mind, anything pops into my head. Yeah. One thing that I've been chewing on a little bit is just, with some of the discord and what seems to kind of be chaotic energy that is out there in the zeitgeist right now. This is a debatable thing, but human beings, we may be one of the only creatures, if not the only one, that seemingly, who knows, has this ability to think about our own thinking, the metacognition, to be able to realize that in fact we are thinking beings, that, hey, I'm having a thought right now, and being able to analyze our own intentions. How we can intentionally choose, maybe sometimes not so intentionally if we're not ruminating before we act, but how we can intentionally cause harm to one another and knowingly cause harm to one another, and being able to understand that indeed we are causing harm to each other, but choosing to do so. And also how kind of this phenomenon of consciousness, how that comes into play. So we'll see what trickles out from that. So what I think I'm letting kind of come to me here are just some images of, outside of humanity, humans, what are ways that life can harm life. When a bear eats a fish, it's probably not a terribly good thing for the fish. When the rose bush gets kind of strangled by a viney weed, again, probably not a good thing for the rose bush. Now I want to take this into kind of that metacognitive space. So see where that goes. By the way, the fungus can invade the mind of the grasshopper. You've maybe seen there are these parasitic fungi that they can basically invade the body of insects and cause behavioral changes in these insects, and then the fungus emerges from the body of the insect and spreads its spores from there into further insects. It's kind of terrifying if you give it a search. Neurons. Got it. Okay. I don't know if I'm in love with that. This format here, and this is kind of how poetry goes in a way. It's kind of how limitation can kind of set the terms. Yeah, I don't know if I'm in love with all the line breaks, but hey, I'm just gonna read it real quick. The fungus can invade the mind of the grasshopper. The bear sink teeth into fish's flesh. A vine strangle off a rose, or a thorn scratch blood from a deer's side. Harm, maybe without the ability to know harm. Then the universe arranged its atoms into neurons that somehow came to know themselves and harm, the knowledge of good and evil. We choose the harm we do, or at least outside of a blind rage can understand what it means for a thorn to draw blood. So often we are our own mind fungus, but we can choose peace too. We can think about our thinking about peace too. Something to think about. Yeah, not sure exactly where that was all going. That's the poems in progress part, not a polished, finished, completed thing. Maybe not even worthy of seeing the light of day, but here it is. Yeah, so I think I was just playing around with how we are creatures who can think about our own thinking, and we can reflect on our own actions, and how we can choose harm sometimes. But being that we can choose harm, we can also choose not harm. Hopefully that's something we can do more of. I'm just going to leave that there. That's where I'm going to leave it. Thank you again for hanging out and watching this video this week. Again, I post all of my online writing over at Wonderbook on Substack. Would be absolutely delighted if you headed over there and you checked out some of the other things that I write. And I hope to be back again here soon in this digital space. This is digital space, apparently. I hope you are doing really well, and that everything is good with you and yours. Peace.